Did I ever tell you that Jake tried to get me in Team 10?
No, this is a great story.
4 years ago.
Wait, why? What happened?
Jake DM'd me and they were like, want to be part of Team 10? And at the time, this was like 3 or 4 years ago. And then I met them at Coffee Bean in Hollywood and that was weird.
So why didn't you join Team 10?
It's just a group of young kids who weren't super friendly and they weren't mean. They just weren't super inclusive and made me feel at home.
Welcome back into the podcast, episode 18 of Livin Large. If you guys are listening on a podcast app, make sure to rate us 5 stars because you know what? We're doing things on this podcast that they're just fun and game-changing. And if you guys are listening on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Livin Large podcast, make sure you guys give a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. Today's guest, Madeline Byrne or Byrne?
Byrne.
Madeline Byrne
Like
and my
Bieber.
assistant, Trisha.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. First time for both of you.
Yeah.
What's going on with this shirt? What's legalized dreams mean?
Legalize, it's just, legalize all your dreams. What's your hat mean, beaver?
Beaver means
Vagina?
It's my favorite animal.
Oh, sick. That's honestly.
We're starting things off really good here on the podcast.
Your intro was impressive.
Why?
That was great. That was just full.
Did you like the emphasis? Living large.
Yeah, no, that was my favorite part.
Yeah, people tend to love that.
I woke up.
Yeah, welcome into the show. Well, let's talk about you for a second, just to get to know both of you.
Yeah.
Before we jump into Trisha, Madeline, tell us about yourself.
Hey, I'm Madeline. Do you guys look at the camera?
No, you talk to me.
Like it's like the first time I've ever been on camera.
Tell
before.
me about you.
Yeah.
Because you have a podcast, but you don't film it, so you're just like, you're a little out of your element.
I know I don't do YouTube that much either, so it's like weird. Well, yeah, I've known you for a minute.
Yeah.
We used to share a manager.
We met on Tinder, yes.
We met on Tinder, yes.
It was a great story.
You know what's funny though, straight up, I have met so many Vine YouTubers back when I was dating, from Bumble,
Stop.
Tinder, Instagram. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
The
We'll
good
talk
old
about
days.
that a little bit later.
Yeah. No, but I'm an actress, content creator. I do comedy stuff on Instagram.
Yes.
Never did Vine, but
When you do your Instagram stuff, it's Vine style. It's selfie. You do a lot of selfie impressions and stuff, right?
I do Vine style, the quick cut, film
Yeah.
in Instagram, super low production value. The lazy girl's basically dream. And then I have recently launched a new series on my Instagram, Cooking with Madeline.
Oh, nice. That's
really
cool. That's a
tight.
good
I love
segue into
cooking,
Trisha because
yeah.
she loves cooking.
Oh, well, you'll love it. I mean, I can't cook, so I cook Lunchables, Pop-Tarts,
That's hilarious.
toast.
Oh, so it's your comedy is very sarcastic. Whenever I watch your videos, it's very sarcastic.
Pretty dry.
driven.
But I
Yeah.
take it very seriously. That's why, it's very dry because
Yeah.
I'm very serious about toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, beavers. Anyway, that's me in a nutshell.
Trisha, that's a good segue. You like to cook. Well, before we
do.
get into Trisha, we were just walking into the podcast and some girl came up to me and Trisha and she's like, "Wow, you guys are such a cute couple."
And
I
we're
was
like, no, I'm his assistant.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Oh, you have such a nice looking family," and I'm like,
It was just too much weird.
very weird.
Yeah.
So you guys were family?
I said that I was she was my assistant, and then the lady was like, "Well, you have a very good looking family."
Oh,
Hollywood is
Nothing
weird.
made sense
No wonder they
in
call it
those 2
Hollywood.
seconds, Yeah.
yeah.
But we are apparently dating now. That'd be weird. That's very unprofessional.
Very.
Kylie leaves town for one week.
No.
One
Exactly.
month.
I gotta get the
Never.
clickbait in there. I'm just kidding.
Right. New girlfriend.
But no, Trisha, tell us about yourself. You just moved to Los Angeles a month
I
ago. How are
did.
you liking it?
I love it. I've been
Just like Lil Pump and Kanye West, you love it.
Yes. I tend to say that a lot.
You do.
Right?
Wait, how did this happen? How did the assistant? Did you know each other
so
before?
Trisha is George's cousin. and they're family stuff. They're always close friends are called cousins.
So
Got it.
I'm Assyrian in the Middle Eastern culture. Anybody who's been close to you growing up, that's automatically your cousin.
Got it.
But we're not really blood.
But they're not
related.
blood related.
Anyway.
It's
Family, yeah.
it's like calling my best friend from back home my cousin.
Yeah.
Sure, got it.
And George does it too much, and he confuses me with his actual family.
Oh, George.
So for the past 2 years, it's been on and off of me visiting George, and then
Yeah,
all of a sudden he calls me. He's like, "We need help."
yeah.
we
What
need
was that
to-
like making the move?
It was something that I've always kind of wanted to do, but I never really did.
What
it.
made you make the decision to be yo, I'm finally gonna leave. I'm gonna leave my nest and be this
Yeah.
bird and flock my feathers around Los Angeles.
I think when my parents were accepting of it and they gave me their blessing, and it was like I could breathe. Like if I didn't have that, I don't think I would.
Because I know, you were talking to me. You told me that you felt bad for leaving your parents, and I always talk to people about this because I know like this is a tough topic. I want to get to your story too. Are you not born and raised here? Are you?
Mm-mm.
So we'll talk about that. But when I moved out here, everybody's like, "Well, how do you like leave your family? How do you leave your friends?" It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to put it. Like, if you're gonna like make a move and do something you want to do, like it's your life.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't hold yourself back for other people because you like, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a dick, but I would always tell my parents understand, and it could come off as douchey, but like my parents have lived their life the way they wanted to live their life. Now it's my turn to live my life how I want to live my life. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Arizona.
Oh, okay. See, and you're out of state too.
I'm from Ohio.
So I'm from the Bay Area. So
I
was like, I never left California,
Yeah.
so it wasn't as hard as probably both of you. I like went to college in the Central Coast too. So then I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep going down south and fuck you guys.
Yeah. What was that like moving to Los Angeles, this big ass city?
It was great.
Meeting Vine stars on Tinder and Bumble.
Honestly, that's why I moved here. I was like, I just want to meet Vine stars on Tinder. No, I mean, I grew up acting and stuff, so I was always planning on moving out here. I used to back in the olden days when I was living at home and I was like 13, I would Google like best agents in LA, best managers in LA, and I would take selfies in my backyard. I'm not even kidding. And I would mail in my like headshots to agents. Oh, I was like super ambitious. And I got meetings, weirdly enough. And I remember like my parents were like, what are you doing? Like at midnight, just emailing these agents. And I was like, I'm going to LA. I'm going to be a kid star. You guys are not even going to know me. And then like I went to college.
You're not even going to know me?
I was like, I'm going to forget about you guys, emancipate.
That's the thing everyone says when you move to Los Angeles. Just like a general rule of thumb, your hometown people are just like, remember me when you're famous.
Yeah.
Don't forget my name.
Oh yeah.
Like that's just like the go-to saying to
lose
say.
my number. No, I mean, I'm sure you get it. It's like you move here and then you think all this stuff's going to happen and then it definitely takes time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything takes time.
Yeah.
It was fast for me. Not going to lie. But I did
Right.
sleep in a closet for a year. So that was great.
Yeah.
On an air mattress underneath clothes. But we've talked about that plenty of times. We don't need to talk about that. But since I have you two females on the show, I was thinking that maybe you guys could give me a little bit of advice on what women look for in a guy to help me better understand. You know, I have a girlfriend. I'm trying to better understand the female brain.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, smart.
Do you want to start?
What do you look for in a guy, Madeline?
Well, I've been out here for like 4+ years. So that was a lot of dating for me.
Wow.
I was-
Okay. How many people would you say you dated?
Okay,
Like you went on
I've been-
dates with?
I've been like technically single for 7 years
Wow.
before
I've been single for 23.
Really? Is Kylie your
Kylie's
first
my first girlfriend. Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Jake's like my second boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
And I was, there's kind of that weird, you're like, what's wrong with you? But I dated a bunch. Like it just, LA, it's a mess. I mean,
Yeah.
But
Everywhere
do
is
you
a
call
mess.
dating because George, we're gonna talk about him for a second. He'll go to dinner or bowling or DM a girl and he's like, yeah, I'm dating that chick.
No, that's not dating.
No,
to me.
like
Dating is like for
Couple
me
months.
like okay, that's okay.
exclusively a couple
Yes.
months.
See, I never did that.
You just like, she was auto girlfriend, like from the get-go.
My
You
thing,
dated her before.
well, yeah, I didn't date Kylie until like I don't date people unless I think they're worth dating. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Same.
Like I don't want to waste my time and invest it on something that I know is going to get nowhere. So like with Kylie, it was such a different story. Like from the start, she was so much different than every girl I
Yeah.
met out here. So that's why I was like, oh, cool, this girl's a keeper. She's different. I'm gonna spend some time on
Yeah,
her.
I feel like I watched one, like a story of you guys. I feel like she did a Q&A or you did at one point. Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like only kind of dating people that I felt like could have a future, and then you don't know. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing is you have to sort of put yourself in. And I was all in with a couple different people, and they would be all in, or we would sometimes just not be on the same page with what we were looking for. And yeah, so a lot of people that seemed like winners, and
What's
early
like your
on
worst
weren't.
story? Like what happened? Like give me a story where it's like, damn, this dude, I'm never talking to him again.
I dated someone after a couple years of being their friend,
Okay.
and there was kind of this like chase because I couldn't have them because they had a girlfriend the whole time. So
Uh-huh.
there was this like build up. And then finally we like dated once he was single, and it's funny because I realized like while we were dating, I was like, oh, I would never have dated you had there not been like 2 years of build up.
Right.
Like I know that's kind of lame, but it was just like, oh, we're so not in common, and it was totally just.
So do you ruin your friendship?
No,
No?
we're like still distant friends. I mean, I have a new boyfriend, so I don't like try to keep in touch with everyone I used to date.
Do you think that's a bad thing? Say you were friends with this kid for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
You date him, it doesn't work out. Now you date someone else. Are you the type of girl that's like, all right, I got to X-nay this guy from my life because I got to respect my boyfriend? Or are you like, look, I know we were friends before this for 2 years. We dated for a little bit, but like it didn't work out and we're both mutually agreeing, like, let's just be friends.
No, I'm pretty good at staying. Like if you didn't, like kill my family or do something like super crazy or cheat, I'm pretty like... Because once I've moved on, I'm like, oh, it's all good.
Right.
Like we can stay distantly
I'm
friends.
that same way. I don't have any grudges. I don't have any bad blood with anybody. I'm like every girl that I ever talk to, I'm like, I could go say hi to them.
Yeah.
It doesn't faze me
I
at
feel
all.
like maybe you feel this way. I feel like girls sometimes are harder to stay. Like girls will hold grudges with each other longer than I would with a guy that I dated.
There's always jokes, like about how girls like go at each other. They're like old ladies and they're like hate each other. But I got in an argument with George, like a serious intense argument on their way to dinner one time, and I wanted to punch him in the face, and by the time we got our breadsticks at Cheesecake, like everything was bueno.
Fine.
Like we were chill.
It is really interesting. Yeah, no, I've had like more drama with guys I've dated's ex-girlfriends that I never even met than I have with like actual boyfriends.
Damn, girls be feisty.
Yeah, and I'm pretty fucking vanilla, so I don't even know. Like, I don't even want to know what's going on with the rest of LA. But what's dating like for you out here so far? Do you have a
great
boyfriend
transition? Thank you for not.
Great.
This is a podcast pro over here.
I host a podcast.
Anyways, Trisha,
I'm too busy. You guys, I'm too busy.
You got to give her some free time so she can date, I guess.
She's got Saturday and Sunday off.
Oh well, then, girl.
She's got all the time in the world. That's all.
True.
Hit up Warwick on a Saturday. Sunday, you hit up like the bowling alley or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or not Tinder, but like Hinge.
I can't.
What is Hinge?
Another app. There's like
how many dating apps are there? There's Grindr. There's Raya.
Okay, what are the ones I was on?
I did Tinder and Bumble.
That's because
back in my heyday.
I was gonna say Tinder was like the only one for a while.
Yeah.
I did like Bumble, Hinge, Raya.
Wow, you were putting yourself out there clearly.
Yeah, totally.
So you never answer my question though. What do you like? What do you like about your mans right now?
He's an adult. He's just like
I feel like a lot of girls like adults. No bullshit.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the girl, right? I know so many girlfriends who they like to play games. They like to change certain guys that are boyish, and they want to change them into like men. And for me, I was like, I don't have the time to care.
Patience.
Yeah. And I was just like, I started getting really honest with guys on first dates. I'd be like, what are you looking for? And they'd be like,
first date? You're coming in hot with that question?
Not like, hey, nice to meet you. What are you looking for? But we would talk and I'd be like, so are you like dating a bunch? Like, how's the dating app scene for you? If we had met on an app or something.
Yeah.
And I would honestly, if they had said like, I just got out of a relationship 2 months ago, I'd be like, for sure. Like I didn't, but so I'm looking for something pretty.
But legit. How do you, here's my question. I wasn't looking to date Kylie.
Yeah.
How are you, what do you mean by like you're looking, like why do you want to date? That's my, I'm trying to understand this.
I mean, I guess you're single for 7 years and you're just like ready. You're just like ready to meet a partner. That's where I was at.
You just get sick of the single game?
And no, because I was like in situationships. Like they weren't guys that I would.
That's a great word.
I know.
I was in situationships.
You know what I mean? Because they're not like. That's maybe the step up from dating. You're in the situationship where they're not your girlfriend. Like maybe you've dated a girl, you've dated a guy for a couple months, and you're exclusive, but they haven't asked you to be your girlfriend.
I was just gonna get that. So if you're dating someone,
yeah,
can you date other people in your eyes?
Well, that's the thing. Like I preach honesty to its highest degree, and that's what a lot of people just don't do. Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, hey, totally cool if you want to see other people. Like,
so is dating different than a relationship? So what's your category? You have dating, you have situationship, then you have exclusive, and then you have relationship, and then you have engagement, and then you have marriage, and then you have death.
And then you just die. Somewhere along the way, there's like, you have to do some dishes, and you have to like turn on some TV. No, I feel like there's dating, and then exclusive, and then boyfriend and girlfriend. Right. I feel like the situationship to me.
So when you're in that exclusive period, mm-hmm. what if he decides, hey, I'm going to go date
other people?
Bye.
Oh yeah, then I'd just be like, that's cool. Thanks for being honest. Like I'm ready to settle down with somebody, mm-hmm. and be like, no, I'm good. But so many people just fuck around behind the back. Because they don't want to lose a good thing.
Right.
To maybe not have it work out with other people. Like I know so many people that do that.
Right.
You know, where it's like, I don't know, because so many people they just don't want to be alone, so they don't want to be honest. Whereas I would date guys. I remember I dated a guy for 6 weeks. He lived in Redondo. I live in WeHo, and we saw each other once or twice a weekend. And after 6 weeks, we never slept together. And after 6 weeks, I just shot him a text, and I was like, "You're awesome, but I don't feel like how I thought I would be feeling after 6 weeks.
Right.
So like, let's just be friends." And
You just sent him a text?
yeah,
6 weeks, 2 months?
but
You
we only
did him
saw each
cold
other-
like that?
See, to me,
I don't think 2 months is like that.
To me, that was actually pretty progressive. Like, because I was supposed to come out to him in Redondo for the first time. He had been coming out to
Oh, you've
WeHo.
never been to his house?
And I just remember being like, if I just didn't want to go, and I was like, that's telling me something. And so I could have just been like, hey, something came up, I can't go. So to me, I was just being honest.
Yeah.
And then
Upfront, yeah.
he got a little passive, and I just said, I totally get it. Like, I just didn't want to ghost you, and you're better
Right,
than
right.
that. You're
Right.
honestly a cool person. I just, like, I don't want to you.
Oh,
I didn't say that. I'm kidding. But you get that feeling in your body. Like,
Yeah.
you know, with girls too, it's like, you get to a point with a
Yeah,
girl where you're
you-
like, I do want to sleep with you or I don't.
But
It's
you know
just,
what's interesting?
you know?
I have so much respect for you because what I would do is I would just never respond.
Like you just never
Oh,
go
to her?
Like,
or to he.
if I wasn't into you and like we hung out a few times
you
and
would
like
ghost
I would
them.
ghost you.
That's what I'm
okay.
saying. That's why I was like,
Because I feel bad. Like I don't want to be like, yo, look, not into you.
but that's worse.
But then, yeah, that is
But-
worse because then the girl's sitting there thinking like I'm ugly, like
And-
I'm not like fun, like
Because
whatever.
girls
That's
Why do you
wrong.
make so many assumptions?
Because
we're right, obviously.
Exactly. If you were to just come out and be like, listen, like you're great, it's just I'm looking for something else, that'd be so much better than just
No,
not
I
saying
swear to
anything.
God, like I know you're all happy in a relationship, so you're good. Like you don't have to do that,
Right.
but it's actually feels so much better to just send that text and be like, "You're seriously dope, and you'll meet someone great." It just I'm not feeling the way I thought I'd be feeling. You have nothing to worry about. You could just go home and be like, "I did right."
Right.
And even if they're pissed, they're like, "Cool, whatever." And you could be like, "Hey, I'm sorry you feel that way." You know, like.
yeah, but you're not on that level yet of like understanding their feelings. So I feel like it's like if you come
Depends
at
on how
me,
many dates, right? It depends on how long you've been dating, I guess.
I don't know. Like I just feel like I've been ghosted before by girls.
Really?
And it's like I'll be like to my boy like, damn, she fucking won't text me back. It's bullshit. But then I like move on. I would rather her not be like, yo, Mark, look, you're a good dude, just not who I'm looking for.
Well, okay.
And then I'd be like, what do you mean?
There's
I'm a
also-
good dude, but not who you're looking for.
It's fair enough to let things like fizzle if you guys went on a couple dates. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
if you went on a couple dates, you don't have to ghost
Do you
them.
consider a date? We've been talking about dating for so long because I'm so.
It's interesting to
It
me.
is
Yeah.
interesting. Do you feel like say I'm like, yo, Madeline, want to go bowling tonight? Is that a date?
My boyfriend and I literally go bowling like once.
But do you
a
call
week.
it a date? I just like I don't know.
If it's just two people,
Yeah.
a guy and a girl, yeah.
Like
Or
going to
whatever.
drinks, going to coffee, going to
That's a
bowling,
date?
That's a date.
dinner. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
Not in my book.
Really?
I feel
someone-
like a date is dinner.
Oh.
I see what you're saying.
Oh,
I think an activity is a date. Like if someone said come over, that's not a date,
yeah.
right?
Right? Yeah, that's like Netflix and chill shit.
Yeah.
That's straight to the point.
Yeah.
That's some Tinder shit.
But dinner, like, I mean, what if I don't know you that well? Like, I don't want to. Both of you probably don't.
You know what's interesting, and I've heard that girls do this. I don't know about guys; they might do this. Girls go on Tinder dates to get a free dinner. Have you ever done that?
I have.
No,
well, I've never
I
been
would
on
rather
Tinder.
eat at home than
Right.
than sit and have to have a shit conversation
with a stranger.
But I do feel like I've heard girls say that, and I'm like,
Wait,
would
so
you really
people in
though?
your life have said that?
I feel like they say it tongue in cheek. I don't know if they're being dead serious about it.
That's cruel.
I think people are dead serious. I used to live in Scottsdale, and I know a lot of girls that used to do that.
I will say, because I used to work in service in LA for years, and I would be
What,
like waitressing
bottle
and
service?
stuff.
Oh, okay.
No, like literally table
Yeah.
service, and I would witness a lot of older men, younger girls.
Yeah.
You know, that's the easier ones to spot, and it was just, it like made me sick just to watch this interaction of. The man would always be talking about like the good old days, and the girls were just like, "I'll get a spicy tuna, thank you." And they're just
Wait,
sitting
is
there
that your
like,
Valley Girl impression?
I don't know. That's just the quiet girl in the tight dress. I don't know.
That's like the Kim K.
I hate putting makeup on, so I'd always rather just be home. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like
But eating, yeah.
you know what's
girls
funny?
gotta eat.
I heard a story. I'm not gonna name any names, but about someone who went on like. Do you expect the guy to pay for the first date?
Yes.
Depends on who asked. I feel like yeah though.
What if it's a mutual like, hey, let's go do something?
Well, who says that? Who says
Yeah.
it first?
So that person
Exactly.
has to pay? Because I know someone that went somewhere and they got there and the girl was like, I forgot my wallet. And the guy was like, oh, okay, we can just go home.
I mean, I feel like I've let the guy pay for the first interaction.
Do you ever offer?
Yeah, but to be honest, if they've asked me to grab a drink, I usually don't offer the first date.
Right.
But like once you're in a relationship or you start going on like a couple dates and you're kind of both feeling each other, I always throw my card in and if they say no, you know, I'm like, okay.
Why is that the expectation?
What?
That a man's supposed to pay?
No, I don't think so. I think it's who asked. That's why I was saying, like, if they asked me.
You know, it's interesting. Like, I know that there's like a shift in the culture now, and like how like everything's like you're not. It's like I don't know how to. Like, I don't want to say it.
Like the Me Too and
not the Me Too, but I'm like, I feel like back in the day it was like, oh, you're supposed to be a gentleman, right? But like,
right.
and I feel like, and that's like that was respectful, right? Oh, be a gentleman, be this, be that. But now it's like. Everything's like, oh, like I'm not trying to say like everyone wants equal rights. I get that. Like I think everyone should have equal rights and all that. But like, how can you like the expectation of paying is like not equal?
I just think like,
you know what I'm trying to say without being like
100%.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think?
I just think when a guy like shows he cares, like asks you out, pays for you, it just shows that like, oh, I'm gonna be taken care of.
Yeah.
And
I feel like
it doesn't have to be anywhere like.
But like,
expensive.
can you even be a gentleman anymore because of the?
You can be a gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know the paying for a date thing is so touchy, right? Because we want to be really progressive, we want to be really equal, and then people are like, "But wait, you want us to pay for a date, right?" I know
there's always like these arguments like, oh, but you get into the club for free and the guys have to pay to get in the club.
At the end of the day, I'm like, we're going to birth your child and it's going to hurt like a bitch. So you can buy me dinner. No, I'm kidding. But I just think whoever asked. So when the guy would ask me like, do you want to get a drink? I usually let them pay. I usually don't offer, to be honest. And then, especially because I don't even know if I'm ever going to see them again. And,
exactly.
And I know that sounds
so
shitty.
You
like,
do go on Tinder dates for free dinners.
No, hardly dinner. It was first dates were always kind of drinks or coffee. But then after that, I definitely would like trade off. Or sometimes
because that's something I loved about Kylie, to be honest, because she would always offer.
Right.
And I'd be like, no, like I got it. But like, and she still like, now that we started, and once we started dating, she would pay for shit.
Yeah.
Like she would be like, no, I got it. And I'd be like, no, I got it. She's like, no, like, I got it. Like,
yeah, but both y'all
I am
that's
an
a
independent
relationship.
woman.
Yeah,
both y'all are rich,
right?
I'm all like, hey, I can't really literally pay for my own meals.
But what if you had a date over, say, to, you know, you make them dinner?
I've
Yeah.
Did
done
you ever
that.
do that?
I've done
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I can't cook.
You know, me and
but-
Kylie's first time having a date in my eyes, I invited her over and because I knew she wouldn't want to go out with me. You know how hard it was to get Kylie, by the way. She's so out of my league. And to get her to come over, we shot a video. Great. Didn't talk to her. Then I was like, to get her to come over, I was like, oh, like, well, I'm having a bunch of friends over. We're going to cook dinner on the grill.
Oh,
like,
cute.
come over with like sweet potatoes, steaks, asparagus. We're going to cook it all. That was our first like date, I guess. And I schmoozed, whatever that word is, into going on a date with me because George had another girl there. And we were like, yo, who wants to go bowling? And George was like, me. And then his girl was like, yeah, me. And I'm like, Kylie, you want to go? And they're like, yeah. And then so me, Kylie, George, and this other girl went bowling, and then that kind of turned into our first date.
That's cute.
That's
Why
really
do you feel like
cute.
she's out of your league? You guys are so cute together.
She's hot as fuck,
Of course she is.
She is
and I'm just like a dude from Ohio.
But that's
But if you look at me in high school, like, and told me I would like say I was in high school, right, and then you look and you show me a picture of Kylie, and you're like, this is gonna be your girl, and she's gonna be so in love with you. I'm gonna be like, nah, bro. Like,
But like, I'm sure you're like, I've never been like, oh, that guy's not hot enough, or that guy's actually looks to me are
guys, there's hope. There is hope for you out there.
I was like you, man. I was like the chubby.
Your boyfriend's good looking as fuck.
He's so cute. He
Like-
was an actor for years and years, and like really successful, and he's just like freaking dad and so cute, and like has a house in Toluca Lake. I mean, I'm
No big
obsessed.
deal.
I know. I'm obsessed with him, but like to me, it wasn't his looks. I've gone out with plenty of attractive
Right.
guys who just didn't do it for me. Like mentally, I wasn't stimulated.
Right.
They didn't ask me questions. I'm sure you were probably maybe the first
They
guy
didn't have a
that-
podcast. I'm an expert at asking questions.
But I actually think maybe I don't know if you've like experienced this. One of my biggest pet peeves in dating, like the number one pet peeve, is guys not asking questions. And I'm not saying like I want it to be about me all night, but I can I know how to
Right.
reciprocate.
Yeah,
And be
yeah.
like, what about
Right.
you? What about you?
You know what I hate about this was always a deal breaker for me. If I ever talked to a girl and she started talking about herself, immediately I got rid of her.
What do you mean?
Like I don't like to talk about myself. So like whenever I would go on a date, I'd ask about you.
Sure.
And honestly, when people would ask about me, I'd just like deflect and ask about you. Cause like, I don't know. I think I hate talking about myself.
Wait, but you said you don't want her to talk about herself, but you would ask her to talk about
No,
herself?
like if she starts talking about herself.
If she just is like, so I'm da-da-da-da.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, guys would do that a lot.
So like,
if-
what do you, oh, that was my question I fucking hated.
What?
If a girl came up to me and the first thing she asked me is, what do you do?
Oh.
Oh.
I
yeah.
hate that question. I never would ask anyone what they did. Because to me that doesn't matter. Why does what you do as a
Right.
job matter?
No, I
Right.
feel you. I even the party at Millennial Party or whatever, my boyfriend like ran off and started talking to some random person, and I was like, "Oh, who did you talk to?" Someone I didn't know, and I was like, "Oh, what did he do for like the company?" And he was like, "Oh, we didn't talk about jobs at all." I'm like, cute,
Yeah.
Very cute.
real conversation.
I just hate that because then it's like you have a prejudgment on the person.
Right.
So like say I come up to you and I'm like, what do you do? And you're like, I work at McDonald's. Or what do you do? And like, bottle service. What do you do? I'm an actor. It's like you get all these judgments
Right.
now
Yeah.
based on income.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and then why does that matter?
Right.
And in LA, that's always the first question.
It weirdly is, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I'll do it.
I get it's like trying to get to know them, but like at the
Right.
same time, it's like now you have a judgment. You know financially where I am, maybe.
I think it should lead into that. Like if you're talking
Yeah.
to somebody, conversation flows, and then you're like, okay.
But
you know,
to be
the
honest,
question-
dude,
but
now that
it
we're
doesn't-
talking, I realized like who the fuck meets people in person anymore? Dead ass.
True.
Well,
Like,
if you're
I
going
knew
to
Kylie-
Warwick, no.
Like if you go to the clubs, if you go to the clubs, you know who everybody is. You're like you see them on Instagram, they Instagram famous, whatever.
Yeesh.
But like you go to the bar, then it's like okay, now you have to actually talk to human beings in real life.
I mean, I straight up worked in restaurants for 3 years of living here. So that was interesting as well. And speaking of the what do you do complex of like feeling judged, I would be serving people and I was coming up on Instagram making these like comedy videos and I'd be their people's server and they'd be like, oh my God, are you Madeline? Do you make those funny videos? And I was like, yeah, like super cool. But then that started happening more and more and you get this weird complex where you're like, oh shit, do they think am I supposed to be rich? Am I like,
Right.
and then you're like, should I not be working in service? But I don't know, it creates that weird complex in
Right.
your head. But I was meeting a lot more people when I left my house more to go to a job.
Right.
Now I don't leave my house if I don't have to.
Right. No, that's actually really good. That's really interesting because I feel like a lot of people, they think, oh, you can just be like social media famous and like make money off of social media, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
that's like people didn't understand when I was doing social media, I still had side jobs too.
Did you?
Yeah, of course.
What were yours?
Mine weren't like, I worked for Ariana Grande, like behind
No
the
way.
scenes. I did Logan Paul's, all his stuff.
Right,
Like
I
I
knew
did
that.
all of that stuff. In my free time, I would do my social media. And I didn't quit doing jobs for other people and like production jobs until I hit like 400K on Instagram.
That's what I always tell people.
Like-
I'm like, don't quit. Cause like even say you wanted to go do XYZ, it's like still,
Trisha's on the come up. How many followers do you have?
I'm almost at 20K.
Let's
Oh my
get Trisha
gosh.
to 20K.
Are you like in a lot of his stuff?
No.
Or- no?
I haven't put her in anything.
No.
Oh, you're just coming up because
She's on the come up.
Cause life.
Because she'd be posting Toon Squad pics.
I don't know what that
Oh
means.
yeah, my Halloween costume. I
Do
was
you have a
Lola
sick-
Bunny.
Was that from
Space Jam.
Animaniacs? Space Jam. Sick. I did Velma from Scooby Doo.
Nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
But no, that's another reason I didn't come here until like I had something. Like I knew I wanted to be in LA, but
Right.
like I wasn't gonna come just like
Yeah, you can't come to
can't.
LA and be like, pray to the
Right.
Hollywood gods that I become famous.
I mean, you can.
You
but you're
can.
gonna be,
You
you're gonna
can.
be woken up real fast.
Yeah.
Because rent is expensive. Life is
Really
expensive. Your
expensive,
car
yeah.
will break down. Ubers are expensive.
Yeah.
You'll get coffee. I mean, it's like, yeah. I remember thinking I moved here with an agent. I was living in San Luis Obispo, if you know where that is.
No,
I
never
know
heard
where
of
that
it.
is. My friend went to school.
Yeah, I went to Cal
Cal
Poly.
Poly.
Yeah, literally. And
Crazy.
Do you want to get drinks later? Coffee?
God, yes,
What about
ready.
avocado toast? Can we get it? Thanks.
oh my God, I love me some Avo tea. It's like near Santa Barbara, but moved here with an agent, and I totally had that moment of like, I honestly don't even need like friends. I don't need a job. I'm gonna become like a huge deal. LOL. Like I nothing was happening my first year here, nothing. And then probably went on 5 auditions and nothing. And I was like, all right, fuck, I really need to start making shit. I started on YouTube, actually. I started trying to make comedy sketches.
Which is, let me just tell you, YouTube, and if you guys are listening, YouTube is the hardest platform to start and grow.
Yeah.
Like,
and with the amount of time, I'm sure you know, filming, importing, exporting, editing, like uploading, it literally takes an entire day.
Yeah.
And then you put this video up and you're super amped on it. And then you're like... And your mom's like, I watched it. And there's like 6 views. And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
she's like, I watched it 6 times.
Yeah. No, that was literally my dad. He's like, I gave
you know what I used to do?
Views.
And when I first started making videos in college, I would make them niche based. Like I make them on my college. And what I would do is I'd text the link when I was done to all my friends, and I'd tweet it, and I'd text the Twitter link, and I'd say, hey, can you guys all retweet this? Like I was my own like promoter.
Pyramid scheme.
I sent it to literally like 70 people and said, hey, can you please tweet this? Can you retweet this? Like you got to start with your friends, your core friends, because then there's no other way to do it, you know?
No, yeah. That's how I came up on Instagram, kind of. I used to make these videos, and I probably had like 2,000 or 3,000 followers, literally working at Goal. Have you ever been to Goal, the sports bar? And I remember I'd made this one video.
How did you get 2,000 followers working at Goal? Would people come in and be like, yo, what's up? What's your Instagram?
No, like maybe I had like 1,000, but I started making videos.
Where were those 1,000 from?
Just like, you know how everyone kind of has like the base. Of
a base.
I mean, I probably had 6 friends in life, but 1,000, who the frick remembers why? And then I started making these videos, and I would send them out to meme pages, and I'd be like, yo, if this is kind of your style, you're welcome to repost. And then, you know, like out of 7 accounts that I would send it to, you know, 2 would ignore me, 3 would open the message, and 1 would repost. So like your odds, you gotta like send that shit out.
My roommate does that now, Grady. He's got like 120K.
He's doing amazing.
Every time he makes a Fortnite video, he has like a whole list of Fortnite like accounts that post shit.
Yeah.
He sends it to all of them, and then he'll like repost them on their stories and show them love. Like
so smart.
He's hustling.
Yeah,
well,
he's doing great.
That's the thing is like I wasn't just making them and praying that it was gonna, you know, share. I would literally be like every morning like the Fortnite thing, I would just go to Instagram and type in basic or like betch, because you know, like all the chick Instagram like meme accounts and and there was like so many different ones, and I started building relationships like the same thing, and just we would like share each other's stuff. And then slowly but surely, I think when I hit 50K, I did this one video about not wanting to go to the gym. And do you know 9gag?
Yes.
You know them? So they like hit me up and they're like, yo, can we share this video of yours? And I'd never heard of 9gag. It's such a weird name. I thought it was like a porn site. And I looked them up and they had like 50 million followers. And I was like, yeah, you can fucking share that. And we started building a relationship. And every time they shared, I would go up 10K in a day. It was crazy. But Instagram, I'm sure you've noticed, the Instagram algorithm is
horrible.
So different now. I don't grow. I mean, it's
you know, the difficult thing about Instagram, so when they first started doing videos so hardcore, it really helped me, and I'm sure it helped you because they had the Explore page. The Explore page was pretty much the same for everyone. But now it's just the content's gotten so saturated, and like everyone wants to be an Instagrammer. So it's like you go to Instagram and it's different for everyone. It's catered towards you, and there's just so much content. And like, honestly, all the content on there is, and if you guys are trying to get into this, like you have to be niche based. It's like, it's all based on what you watch. It's all based on trends. Like for the longest time ever, 6ix9ine was just all over my Explore page.
What's 6ix9ine?
You know the rapper, like 6ix9ine?
Sure.
Never heard of him?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
You're so detached from pop culture.
I really am.
The guy with rainbow hair that went to jail recently.
Okay.
He has 6ix9ine tatted all over.
6ix9ine tatted.
Apparently, I need to know who this person is.
Wow. She doesn't know who 6ix9ine is. That could be the clickbait for today. I'm not sure.
Or I think Mark has a new girlfriend. Is the
maybe
more exciting one. Anyway,
whatever.
So 6ix9ine was all over your feed.
He was all over my feed, and then Fortnite, because I started playing Fortnite, was all over my feed. And then what's all over my feed now? I had it at the top of my head, but then we started talking about.
Mine's just hot chicks, I feel like, which I'm still into. I'm like, okay.
Those new type of videos where people like hold the camera and like point at their friend. They're like, "Yo, Madeline, I dare you to stick that milk on your face," and you're like, "Okay, if it's a dare."
Is this like a setup?
It's like
they know
setup
it's
pranks. Yeah.
Oh,
that's like
pranks.
the biggest trend right now.
I hate pranks so much. They make me want to crawl out of my skin.
What bothers me, like I get it, it gets a good laugh, but like I don't know, I'm driven to content that's like, oh, that takes talent to make.
100%.
You know, like
Right.
Well, and that's, I mean,
creativity,
speaking of
talent, whatever.
oversaturation of, Instagram comedy. Like I even kind of hesitate telling people I make Instagram comedy sketches because I
Right.
almost want to be like, but they're like, I think they're kind of funny though. They're not like cringy funny because people just see other people doing it and they're like,
Right.
ooh, I can do that. Which
Right.
great. Follow your dreams. But it also like, it's,
I feel like
yeah.
skits aren't as common anymore, but I think they'll come
Yeah.
back. Like I think you should obviously always stick to what you're good at. I'm good at skits. You're
Yeah.
good at skits.
No, I
Never
love your
give
stuff.
up and never like switch to like what the trend is. I know that you can get fast cash
Mm-hmm.
now, but like you don't want to lose your identity. And over time, trends repeat themselves.
Right.
Like YouTube went from pranks to like vlogs to drama to diss tracks to
Oh my God, right.
podcasts now, and then it's gonna go
Makeup
it's gonna-
tutorials.
makeup tutorials. It's all gonna recycle because like vlogs now aren't as poppin' as they used to be.
right.
Like vlogs was hot for like a
Yeah.
year and a half, 2 years. Like if you were a vlogger, like you're the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, all right, vlogging. Like I've seen you daily vlog for 2 years straight. It's like
They
what
want produced
they want
content.
produced content.
Right.
They want different stuff. That's why Shane Dawson's succeeding. That's why
Shane.
James Charles. Everyone loves James Charles.
I love.
I like Emma Chamberlain. I just discovered her.
She's really
so
good
cool.
too. Yeah, I don't. James Charles is like.
Makeup guru.
Makeup.
But here's my question: doesn't he just do makeup tutorials of like special effects kind of stuff,
No,
now
now he's doing like collabs with people.
Yeah.
So like he did a collab with Kylie and like the Ace family. So he's doing collabs with these people that we see
And
everywhere.
him and
But
Emma
what-
Chamberlain and the
but-
Dolan twins do a lot of collabs. I noticed.
But why
Sister
does
Squad.
he? Why is he? I mean, he's
Like,
very
why-
talented in his art, right? But his tutorials are not something you would do to go to school. You know what I'm saying?
I think he has some.
Maybe
Oh,
he
does he
came
do
up
that?
that way.
And he even has a video. It's like 40 minutes long of how he face tunes his stuff.
Stop.
So it's. I'm not kidding. And like
He's
the
open about that?
Oh yeah, the detail he goes into. I'm like,
You should watch a
What?
collab video where he'll do it with the Dolan twins and Emma Chamberlain. They're all really funny together, and they'll each do a video on their own page. And
yeah.
I think it's
he
more
does that
driven
too.
towards you guys and more relatable for you.
I don't watch
because
a
I've
bunch of
tried to
makeup.
watch some of their videos.
I can't do makeup.
It's just
That's
not
why I
my-
watch it. But
Yeah.
Because like I'm into like Casey Neistat. I'm into like
Gary
Peter
Vee.
McKinnon, Gary Vee. Like just like.
I like watching ASMR eating videos.
do you
Oh
really?
my goodness.
I'm
Yo, I'm so into
subscribed
Trisha
to, like-
Paytas.
I love her.
She
It's
does
so interesting.
mukbangs.
It's a
No, I don't
mukbang.
like the mukbangs.
I think it's mukbang.
It's mukbang.
Is it really though?
K-pop?
Okay.
I like.
I only like her
watching him eat.
mukbangs though, because Trish Paytas.
She's really
is
funny.
She's
my
hilarious.
gal.
My favorite vlogger is David Dobrik.
Oh yeah.
He's
watch
fun.
him?
I watch
Yeah.
him.
Did you
They're-
see him at the party?
Yeah.
Are you guys like friends though?
Yeah, we're not like we don't hang out, but yeah, when we see each other, we like say what's up.
Did I ever tell you that Jake tried to get me in Team 10
No, this is a
Like,
great story.
4 years ago?
Wait, why? What happened?
This was when I was growing on Instagram, and I
growing at an exponential rate, because
no, I literally had 3K. Erica, when Erica was his assistant,
I'm Erica Costello.
I was just at her house the other day. We're still friends, but her and Jake DM'd me, and they were like, "Want to be part of Team 10?" And at the time, this was like 3 or 4 years ago, and then I met them at Coffee Bean in Hollywood, and that was weird.
So why didn't you join Team 10?
I spent the day with them. We met. Erica was my age, so we like totally hit it off. Jake couldn't look me in the eyes. He was just young. He was like 19, and I think he was just
Yeah.
awkward. And then he was like gonna be launching Team 10, so it hadn't even been a thing yet. Tessa wasn't even a thing. Like Alyssa had just become a thing, and I spent the day with him. I was a couple years older than Jake,
Right.
So it was like him and Niels. I show up at his apartment. It's like him and Niels, and
Who were very young.
really young
compared
like,
to you, yeah.
I mean, I was like 23,
But
they were like
how old are you
19,
now? You're 25?
27.
27. So yeah, they're younger. He just turned 21, I think.
And I think they were like 18 or they
Yeah,
might
yeah.
have been 17 at the time.
Niels was 17
Yes,
when they
they-
first started it. Yeah.
And it was kind of this thing, like, which totally, maybe you get this because I don't know how you were in high school, but you were like dogging on yourself. When I was in high school, my friends were cool, but like I never felt super cool. So literally,
God, same.
yeah, but like showing up to hang with these guys, I'm just super friendly. And so I show up and it was just a group of young kids who weren't super friendly and they weren't mean. They just
Right.
weren't super inclusive and made me feel at home. And
Right.
I remember thinking like, okay, you know, and I thought to myself, like, I still wanted to grow on social media the easy way. So I was like, if they offered me a contract, I probably would have done it. But we just, none of us really clicked.
Really?
And, yeah. And Erica wasn't there that day. So I remember it being really awkward. And I probably spent like 5 hours with them.
Wow.
That's gotta be
It was
weird because
weird.
you're 27, you're 6 years older. So
Yeah.
so you're 24, they're 18, like 17.
I think they were like 15.
It's like, how do you connect, 15. Yeah, how do you connect with them on?
Right.
And no, but what was crazy, it wasn't like nobody wanted to connect. Everyone, and I'm not trying to talk shit because I don't know enough about them to like give a shit, but they were all on their phones. No one tried. And I just remember thinking like, this is so sad because like there's no connection happening. But yeah, so then I remember being like, all right, well, I guess that's not a thing. And then did my own thing and then grew into whatever I am. And I'll see them around. And
Jake asked me to be in Team 10 when I was 24. And he was like...
God, we could have been in Team 10.
Or no, wait. When did I move out here? I moved out here when I was 21 or 22.
Nice.
And he asked me when I was like 23.
Yo, that should be the clickbait. We almost joined Team 10.
But the reason I didn't do it was because he wanted me to do like a 5-year contract or something.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, dude,
it was like 20%.
I don't want to be making content like this when I'm 27 years old. Like, I don't want to be hanging out with like a younger based content. I want my content mature and I'd rather do it myself. So that was my reasoning for not joining Team 10. It was like, I would like contractually, I would have been out of it by 27. And these are like my core years, like where like my career could take off. So it's like, if I take off in movies, if I take off in music, I don't know what my future held. I was young and he was even younger.
Yeah.
What if I booked a role in a freaking huge movie and now I'm giving 20% to a 18-year-old? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it looked like a lot of them just kind of left the contract anyway. I don't know what that legally
Team 10
like.
Team 10's it's such a genius idea.
Yeah, like, he was like the Dr. Dre of Instagram.
It works so good.
That's a great
but the only problem is like,
to me.
and Jake's really, really smart and he works so hard. Like I remember when he was starting Team 10, like he would go to bed so late, wake up so early, like kid hustled. We lived together. And it was such a good thing. But at the end, like what happened was everybody grew egos and was like, hey, I don't need you. And then that's what happened.
Well, yeah, because like they got their followers from him, but then they got followers. So they were like,
right.
Okay, we're good. Like we don't need you anymore. And then they outgrew him, I guess.
That's sad.
But, and then there was just, I think, like I had gone over to their house a couple times when they got that one space. And it was just really interesting because it's like there's so much ego and so much fame. Like there really was, anytime I would go to hang out with Erica, like the cars that were outside of kids just wanting to like.
Right, it's nuts.
I'm sure you remember like bang on their door and stuff. And you're just like, I felt old. I was like, this is weird for me to witness, but.
It wasn't weird for me just because that was when I was starting to come up on vlogs and living with Logan. Like we would have people looking in our balcony,
Logan,
like at all times. There was no privacy at all. So I got used to it. That wasn't, but like, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like it's tough too. Like when you sit and you see like Jake, everyone knows Jake. Jake's the owner of Team 10, but then you have everyone underneath him. And I think that's too hard for people. But it's great in the short run. It's like, oh, we're getting followers. Everyone loves me. I'm famous, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you think about it and you're like, oh, wait, everyone's here for Jake. Like they're not here for me. They're not here for me. So it's like you're Jake's product. And I think that's probably why some people left. It's like, I don't want to be known as Jake's like.
But it's funny because it goes back to what we were just talking about
but that's ego.
About talent. Like it was like he was giving fame to people that didn't earn it. Like they didn't deserve it. Not. I didn't really know any of them besides Erica, but like a lot of them weren't like singers or musicians or had talent. I mean,
some of them were some
before.
But I mean, Tessa's a very good dancer.
Yeah, no, she's rad.
AJ Mitchell, like one of the best singers. Yeah, one of the best singers. Niels was doing modeling. But there was some in there that I'm just like,
That's what I mean. It was just kind of this like instant fame who maybe weren't ready for it.
Right.
Whereas some people really like came to Hollywood and they were like, I want to be a singer, dancer. Yeah. I just did a thing with Tessa. She's such a good dancer. She's
all over every single bench for buses around Los Angeles.
The YMI, the jeans. Yeah.
Like literally she's on every single bench.
Good for her.
But all love for Jake, all love for everyone that's been in Team 10. Like, I mean, it was a fun time while it lasted. It's like Drake too, and like Young Money. It's like Drake finally outgrew Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne made Drake, and he signed Drake to Young Money, and now Drake look at Drake and like look at Lil Wayne.
It's like a cycle.
I was just thinking about that weirdly enough. Do you watch like Kardashians?
I love.
Nah.
I don't, but I was like, they're too big for their own show now. You know what I mean?
But
like
they still do it.
I feel like the reality show is beneath them now because they're just so famous.
They still do it though.
Right.
And guess what? I still watch it.
But what if they stopped doing it? You know,
they'll still be relevant.
They all have like brands and they're just moguls.
I don't think so. I think that keeps them together. That keeps the family together. That keeps the core. It's like if you look at Team 10, like when they lived at that house and everyone was there, everyone was creating, they were popping, right?
Yeah.
It's harder now because there are not as many people there. So it's like if you have the Kim or the Kardashian show, they're all there. That you see them together. You see that family dynamic. But if you all separate, like it's
the glue, I guess.
It's the glue that holds everyone else to stand alone in their own businesses.
Did you live at Vine when all that was when, like the Vine time was happening? Does anyone still live there?
Johannes and Amanda are still there, but they're just there temporarily because they're like building a house or something.
Oh, casual.
But yeah,
it's a mansion.
But yeah, no one lives there anymore. But that was the dynamic that kept all them together. You know what I'm saying? Everyone was creating Vines. They all knew this. It was a set. It was like Seinfeld. It was like Friends. It's like this is the place where they live. Exactly.
It was so much
from an
fun
outside perspective, and now it's like it's hard because, like I said, the Team 10 house moved. Not everybody moved into the Team 10 house. Now it's like she's at her apartment, I'm at my apartment, I'm at my house, he's at his house. It's like you need to be all together for it to work.
I do get that. It's like sad watching people grow up and move out, I guess, when you're so excited about a time.
It's like when Friends ends, everybody cries.
I should have worn my Friends t-shirt. That's my favorite show.
You and George would get along. You like Friends too?
I love Friends.
George did that the other night. He was like, Jake was like, oh, I don't watch Friends or something. And George literally pulled such a George after joke, and he just walked to. He's like, "You don't watch Friends?" Turned around and just left the room, like committed.
I don't watch Friends. I'm a Seinfeld kind of guy. So
you can either be one or the other. I've never met somebody. Friends. I can't stand Seinfeld.
I've never watched.
It's older comedy. You wouldn't understand.
Are you 27?
I'm 25. You guys are both older than me.
How old are you?
28.
Oh my god!
I had to think about it for a second.
You could tell me you were 22. I'd be like, I believe it.
I want to talk about one more story with you, Trisha, and then we can end.
Okay.
What was it like for you to move in with like Kylie being the only female at the house? Was it like, did you ever feel like, girls are like, this is my space, this is my area, this is my man's. I don't want you in my space. I don't want you in my man.
Territorial.
I don't want my man to look at you. I don't want you to do this, any of this shit. Yeah, territorial. That's the word I was looking for.
Kylie peed everywhere.
Yeah. She's like, did you fear that being an issue?
No.
Be honest.
I'm 100% honest. I had met Kylie when you guys lived at Vine.
Mm-hmm.
And so like initially I was just like, this girl is so cool. She's so nice. And then when I came to visit like a couple months before I moved in, and she just made us feel so welcome that when I got the call of like, hey, come out here, I was just so comfortable.
Did you ask her if you could?
I didn't ask her if I could, but I asked George, I'm like, have you talked to Mark and Kylie? Is Kylie okay with me coming over there?
What did he say?
He's like, yeah, she's so excited, blah, blah. And like literally 2 seconds later, Kylie texted me, I'm so excited, with like all these emojis.
Out,
so it was just like, I don't know.
Is it you four?
Surreal.
It's me, Kylie, Trisha, George, and Grady. So there's 5 of us.
5.
Yo, throw me in the ring.
We do have an extra bedroom, but it's Kylie's closet. So
fuck yeah.
It's a dream. It's a dream.
Kylie's so sweet. I like her.
Yeah, she's great. She's
really
in Europe
is.
right now. She'll be back, next week. We're going to Ohio.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you all so much for listening in. I hope you guys can learn a little bit about why you didn't join Team 10, why I didn't join Team 10, and dating. We talked a lot of shit this time.
So much dating.
This was a good episode.
Yeah.
I feel like I learned a lot, and I hope you guys did too. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, rate us 5 stars, and I'll see you guys all next Wednesday. Hope you have a happy holiday wherever you are. I was going to say Merry Christmas, then I'm like, you got to say Happy Holidays now.
Yeah.
But until then, say it with me on one time. Yeah, deuces.